Okay, now we can start maybe with the closing plenary. First of all, I'm so happy to see so many faces still here, not left. The toughest one, most resilient one who has stayed, you know. I hope to make this final session short and sweet, but you have to help me with this. We had a very great 3 days, from PhD symposium to opening plenaries, full papers, concise papers, spotlights, action labs, then Oxford debate, and now we are coming to the end. Of course, the most important part was gathering around, networking, great dinner we had yesterday, and all the other things that were not formalized, you know, talking outside the building at the sun, having a coffee with friends somewhere in Graz. And I'm certain that it will stay in nice memories to all of us. So for the end, as we do not plan a big event as a closing plenary, we thought to little bit to summarize what we have heard during these 2 days of the conference. And the idea was that we have a discussion with the people who led the plenaries and Oxford debate. So Josep Duart, Eden president, Kathrin Otrel-Cass from University of Graz, our host, our great host, Wim van Petegem from Leuven, elected president, and Paul Prinsloo from University of South Africa, who led the Oxford debate. And my name is Sandra Kučina, and I'm Eden Vice President for Open Professional Collaboration. Doesn't sound nice. Okay, so my idea, and jointly in collaboration with colleague, was that they reflect on the plenaries or on activities they led, and each of them will have 5 minutes. So don't worry, we didn't think that you fall asleep during all this time, because we prepared some questions for you in order to engage you and get some feedback from you. So after these introductory summaries, we will discuss it jointly, how it was. So maybe we could start with Josep. You had the plenary, so what are the main key messages or questions or something important that you found has been heard at this conference, which was related to the AI in education and setting the future?
Okay, thank you, Sandra. Remember that in that first opening plenary session, we had two speakers. The first one was Francesca Maturano. She came from the European Commission. And for me, and also I think for all of us, for Eden, I think it was very interesting to see the relevance of the digital education, European Digital Education Plan, and also I think to remark the position that we have as Eden, the working to development of this European Digital Education Plan. It was interesting to see that they are planning, of course, to continue working on that. And I would like to remember to all of you that this possibility open to submit position papers to help the European Commission and the politicians and these people to define to think about the new policy. You know that people who are not from here, from the European Union, we celebrate last Sunday elections in Europe. Now we will have soon a new European Commission. I think it's important to submit our voices to the continuity of this digital education plan. And the second speaker, for me, it was very, very interesting also to see Lydia
Král,
yes. Remember that she started with this question, where is the treasure of the artificial the treasure in artificial intelligence land, And it was very interesting to see for me that a person who came from data analysis, a person who is from mathematics, etc., she mentioned that the algorithms is not the most important thing when we talk about artificial intelligence in education, the most important thing and relevant thing, of course, is pedagogy, is education. She was also talking about competences and the things that we have to be clear related with these competences. For me, this was one of the most interesting things from this speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Then, Kathrin, you had the next plenary spotlight, you know, so maybe you could reflect a little bit on what was heard there.
Mm-hmm. I think what stood out for me is, first of all, actually takeaway messages that apply to the three main audiences, and I mean by that the policymakers, the researchers, and the practitioners. So we were reminded of the opportunities that are also opening up for us in smart ways to use some of the possibilities with AI that open up through, for instance, the usage of MOOCs and addressing the diversity of learners, you know, through language adaptations and things like that. But also to be reminded as researchers of the risky perspectives that AI brings with it, and so that there are these aspects around risky digitality. So for us to really critically reflect on that, what it means, because aside of the plenaries and spotlights and all that, I also overheard conversations in the hallways, or talking to people, asking, what do we actually mean when we talk AI? Is it always clear? And do we all have the same understanding? And are we all running but not really knowing where we are running to? So should we not spend time about halting perhaps a little bit and thinking about that? And I think this is in many ways also a strong takeaway message, or also the purpose of a community like ours to come together and stop for a moment to really critically think about that.
Yeah, I think that you're perfectly right. I'm certain that in this room there will be many definitions of what AI is, because we have maybe similar views, but in the end the specific definition might be different for each of us. So it's very important to talk about it so that we can get common understanding actually what we are thinking about. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Wim, you were on the spot today with the plenaries, yeah. So you are fresh in the reflections.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I would like to summarize my impressions of the morning plenary, but also the other impressions I have here from the conference in 3 words. And that is risk, trust, and care. I think that were the 3 words that I will remember from this conference, inspired by what I heard also this morning. And risk, you already touched that, and by the way, I'm an engineer. Risk is a problem. I don't like problems. I love solutions. So I will not touch upon the risks anymore, but I see trust and care, or maybe parts of the solution to these risks. And if we talk about trust, then we should trust in people, first of all, I think. And people then goes broad. Actually, we didn't talk too much about trusting in our students. That was not touched that much during the conference, I think. But I love students, and students for me, and for those who remember, there was once an Eden research workshop in Leuven with as title Students in the Driving Seat. And I still believe that this is something that we should cherish. We need to trust our students. They are a great resource for the work that we are doing and for the way forward when we think about AI and other technologies that come along. So trust in students, but also trust in teachers, of course. We are all teachers or involved in teaching. teachers, but also the other staff members involved in the teaching teams. I think they also deserve our trust in their capacities, in their professionalization, in their help and support. We should also maybe trust, and that's maybe not so easy to understand, we should trust in our management. That they need to empower us, yes, and we should believe that they can do that, and let's hope that they do it and that they give us the room and the space to explore new possibilities, and hopefully they trust in us that we can do it. So the management is another partner in that equation, let's say, and why not the governments? And that's then boiling back to what we heard this morning in Estonia. The government is really in favor of all these new things happening there in the country, and that enables then a lot of good things, I would say. So trust in a government. It's maybe not always possible. I also have my doubts about my own government in Belgium, but okay, we should try to trust what they are doing and maybe benefit from these things. Trust in people is one thing, but we should maybe also trust in the technology itself. Technology has affordances that we could use, and we should trust in these affordances. We should be able to use these technologies in the best possible way, and so that always starts with having trust in the affordances. That's about trust, and then my third word was care. I think and now I need to check on my computer. I think it was in one of the it was not in the keynote this morning, but in one of the other sessions I was participating in. I heard someone. It was a quote, and I don't think that it's literally quoted, but it was about education is a relationship between people, right? And that's education when you talk about people. And if you then switch to education with technology, no, the technology will not take over education because technology cannot care. And caring is an extra aspect that is related to education. I think that for me that's also an important message that I will take from this conference. We are a caring family as an Eden community. I hope that you could feel that, and let's continue doing that for the future of not only our organization, but also the next generations to come. That were my messages.
Thank you for being so optimistic. My reply to you, no, my reply to you would be: risk, trust, and care should be there. And then we come to Paul, because he was today having the Oxford debate on ethics. So this also implies there, you know, do we dare, you know, to go there with all these issues we have to do and think about, you know. It's very nice not to think about anything, you know, be blessed in naive, to be a naive and try and see what happens. But nevertheless, we cannot do it often. So Paul, your reflections.
Thank you so much. I think it's possibly the debate is too fresh to really make sense of how to make sense of what we heard and how we heard and what we heard. I do think just three short things is, I think the whole conference we explored what AI can do. They were fun, they were intelligent tutoring and not so intelligent tutoring. There were a lot of things what it can do, and I think what the debate raised for me is under what conditions can AI allow us to become the best humans we can be. I think AI gives us an opportunity to rediscover our humanity and to rediscover that AI cannot get goose flesh when it watches the sunset. AI cannot cry, AI cannot care. So I think for me...
But it can make a risk.
So it is a risk. And possibly the last thing is, while we spent the whole week, or it feels like a week, what AI can do, I think what the debate was, what should we not allow AI to do? we dare not abdicate some things to AI? And if we do, under what conditions do we care?
Definitely. Thank you. I think that most important thing is that we do not allow AI to run us, that we need to run AI for our purposes, so that it does overcome what we are doing and take that aspect of humanity which we have and which we'll always have. So we have to be the masters in that game, actually. Now we are going to questions for you. So please register at Vevox with this ID. I need all of you. Stop reading emails and everything. Because I know how to count, and I know that there are more than 30 people in the room. So I expect every of you to have opinion, you know. I hope you managed to get. Okay, so we move to the first question. Oh. It was too soon. Oh my gosh. Say when we can do it. Can we now? Okay, Ethan. For you, the first question. Will the education sector be able to cope and adapt AI solution in shaping student-centered, open, inclusive, and digital learning opportunities, based on what you have heard these 2 days, on your opinion and previous experience? So you have several possibilities to answer, and then we will comment on it jointly. So I'll give you few seconds. My speakers have their own opinion as well, so we will see. So we will see how it matches. Okay, maybe you can show us results at the moment. Okay, so yes, it's already on this way. Maybe if they start now, something it's lost the battle already, and there's no need. It's just a trend that will pass. So, yeah, those few who are still hoping, you know, hope is everything, you know. Maybe Kathrin, if you can comment on the results, how much they are within your perspective of the question.
Well, actually, I wrote down also from the presentations, you know, AI streaming, hallucinating, amoral, and biased. And I thought that really for us, for education to be addressing that, we really need to grasp the full spectrum of what AI actually stands for. It's I don't think that we can. To some degree, I disagree with you saying that we have to be the boss, because we are. We have to understand the nature of it, you know, the kind of the affordances, but really even more than the affordances, but really the nature, what it does to us, and how we steer it in a way. Yeah. So for education, it's crucial that we halt, that, you know, there's an acceleration happening. And that we find ways to slow this down, slow cooking, you know, and really think about it.
I can give you counter-argument to what you say, because, you know, if we let AI to come and take, and we start to using it without all the information, all the cautions which we should have, then we will have teachers and students who will be using, not knowing how to properly use it, and it will overtake. And the management doesn't always have the quickest solution or the knowledge how to deal with it. So until they find the time and way how to cope with it, it could do a lot of damage, you know. For example, we should stop doing essays because ChatGPT will write essays. I say, no, I like essays. I will do them still. And I will just use it, you know, to make different in a different way. But some teachers are afraid of it, and they will ban the technologies and everything, you know, because of lack of information. So that was my idea, that we have to be master in that way, you know,
Yes.
to understand that, you know.
But perhaps in response to that, I would say then we can only solve this if we get all of the participants to the table.
Yes.
So it cannot just be solved by management, but we need the teachers, we need the students, we need the IT experts, we need the diversity of those different players to help us then make those decisions. I think it's
It should be joint effort, certainly.
Mm.
Josep, what you reflect between Kathrin and me, on whose side are you?
In the middle.
Be careful with your reply.
No, I'm in the middle, no? Because I agree with the second, the third one, or maybe if they start now, no? Because my feelings is also that during the last years before the artificial intelligence appears, probably we will solve a lot of things that is student-centered, also inclusion, equity, etc. But when artificial intelligence starts now, it seems that we lose all of these things. For instance, universal design, also equity, we have bias, etc. I think it's something that we have to take care. We, as you mentioned before, we take care of that. No? And yes, this is my position.
Okay. Wim, shortly?
I'm optimistic, so...
yeah, I know you're optimistic.
Yeah, you said. So I'm happy to see that well, yes, it's already on its way, or maybe if we start now, that these are the highest scorers. I really think indeed that we all together, education sector is a lot of people together, we can probably make use of the technology to indeed shape these opportunities like in the question is mentioned. So,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
I'm happy.
Paul, what would you say to those of you who said it's a lost battle already? What would be your message to them?
It was me.
How did they know? How did they know whom to ask, you know?
No, I think I'm with Christina. I think we need to slow down fast and pause and really think what is happening and ask the right questions. So I don't think we've lost the battle. I think if we don't claim back the agency from the commercial enterprises developing these tools, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure we can claim it back.
Okay, perfect. Let's move to another question. Ethan? So, name one thing you will take away from the Eden Conference that is helping you to think about AI or to work with AI in education. One thing you will take away, apart from having a great time. Okay. Okay, maybe we can start with reflection. I think, Wim, we should start with you because your caring is quite strong present here. So, caring, potential, pause. What we said, Paul and Kathrin said, pause, slow down, you know. Transparency.
Experiment and potential are also quite high.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to see caring popping up.
Yeah. I don't know what is, I'm hallucinator. I don't know what is it.
I think it's hallucinator.
A hallucinator. Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but...
Okay. So...
I think we have to care.
Yeah. Okay, so all of you voted for Wim, I see. Okay. Okay, very interesting, but the buzzwords we were actually talking about these 2 days, you know, saying that we should think how to use it, we should take it with care, we should inform ourselves when we are starting to use it and know why we want to use it, you know, in which situation. Okay, thank you. And the next question, you will see we started from the simple one to more complex one. So in order that you don't give up, quite soon, the next floor. So based on what you have heard during the conference, do you think that AI should be integrated in education? So let's see. What's your opinion? Oh yeah, quick one in the reply. Okay. Okay, so we have, yes, I believe so, and yes, certainly we can already see its benefits. Okay, mostly. Would you comment on this? I think that we maybe have replied something about it already in the previous questions. I think that AI cannot be deprived from the education because it's already here. We are already using it, so we just need to know how to do it in a proper way. Perfect. And the last question. That will need a little bit of thinking for you. So I hope you still have some strength to do it. Give us 3 examples of role AI will play in the next 5 years for university teachers and 3 examples for university students. So you see how I smoothly went from the simple to the very complex question. You didn't know what's going on.
And they don't know there's a prize for this essay.
You will get a kiss.
You can choose your presidents.
All together, teachers and students?
Yes, you have enough space to write it. Yeah, that's a tough one, to see how can we deal with this. But while we are waiting for the answers, maybe when we can start with you, what would be your examples on the role AI will play for university teachers, for example?
Well, I think how I'm using AI at this moment is when I need some inspiration for scenarios that I could use in class or for developing some slides like I did, for instance, yesterday.
Did you?
Yes. I mentioned even the prompts on my slides that I was using. No, if you are preparing your lecture, I think that one way that I use AI is getting inspiration. I was once teaching a course on data science, and it was, by the way, in Latin America, and I wanted to contextualize some aspects, and I just asked ChatGPT to give me some inspiration for scenarios that I could use in that context for this group of people. So that was what I wanted, how I use AI as inspiration.
I'm sorry, because it said that one reply was better porn for everyone. Can you move that we see the answer? Okay, so sorry, but someone is having a nice time,
Confused there.
Yeah. So you see.
As source of inspiration for when I'm preparing lectures, that's one way that I would use AI. The second way is, and that has more to do with writing. I still write myself first in English, but English is not my native language. So then I'm using the tools that are available to improve my language when I have to write. That's another way that I'm using AI.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
Already 2 examples.
Okay, 2. So Joseph, you can add.
Yes, I have another thing that is when we talk about artificial intelligence, usually we talk about personalization of the students' teaching and learning process, and also flexibility of that process, no? And also we talk about tutoring the students or tools, no? to tutor the teaching and learning process of these students. One of the things that maybe I'm thinking that should be interesting for the next year is to use the artificial intelligence in order to help the academic or the academic trajectories from the students, no? Also for the lifelong learning processes. I think this is an interesting tool that maybe can help us to make better decisions in our continuous process, to continuous learning, lifelong learning processes.
Yeah, good. And maybe, Paul, you can reflect on the students. For example, what about cheating?
I don't think that's our biggest problem.
Yeah? Okay.
No, I do think for students, real-time feedback and real-time, just-in-time support, appropriate support, if it's program support, I think that can really help to have immediate feedback in some cases in behaviorist settings. So I think that's a real advantage, and possibly to stir up questions, but then with the help of a human. To evaluate the questions or the answers they got, to really interrogate information and curriculum and knowledge. What is knowledge?
Yeah, certainly. But for example, my students tell me that they are using ChatGPT for coding and debugging the codes, you know, to check if it's good or if they can write it instead of them. And also to look for some when they have to write an essay to find some good reasons if you do not specify to them that they should reflect, then they just copy it like Wikipedia before 10-15 years ago, you know. So yeah, maybe Kathrin, you could add for students benefit. How will, for example, you are heading research team. How do you see you can include it into teaching and learning and help teachers to use it to help students? You know.
I think it would be nice in the future if we manage it in a way where we can collaborate with AI in a way that we can trust and rely on the information, identify also where the human factor comes in. Because there was one comment also in one of the sessions that teachers will be obsolete in the future, or experts, or we are going to be obsolete, you know, those are the big questions. And I think that I don't think, you know, because we need to, or we should really reflect on what's, you know, what is the value in what we can contribute in the erratic, non-logical way of how we sometimes operate, and you know, the creativity and our ability to really connect random dots, you know, that cannot be pre-programmed. So, and having a collaborative arrangement between AI and a student or a teacher also means that they can that AI might provide some of the trustworthy basic information, and then for the human to really start thinking and playing with it. And that's I find that very intriguing and very interesting.
Thank you. There are a number of answers, and basically from what I saw, the most are about really, I think you have learned something at the conference, definitely, from your replies, so we can be happy, you know, we have done our job, you know, so you will go home with something, but maybe in the end, I would like to ask all of you, you know, if we are looking at 5 to 10 years, into the future, how education should look like, or will look like, you know, in the way of the relationship between teacher, student, and the content. So, what would be your idea? How will it be changed much than it's now? Who will do what? How the content will be created, by whom? So what do you think? Maybe, Paul, you would like to start?
It's interesting, in 2000, Ronald Barnett, in the context of the UK, wrote an article with the title, University Knowledge in an Age of Super Complexity. That's 2000.
Yeah.
And he says the role of the university in such ecological complexity is to validate knowledge claims. To really, because we have the expertise. So I think that will be our role. I hope it's our role to validate the knowledge claims made by automated systems as a revolutionary account of the world.
Yeah. Thank you. Josep?
And in that sense, I think one important thing is to learn to work with these machines, to have the opportunity to feel that in education that we are working together, not with these machines, this artificial intelligence, these things, not that could help us, not in order to be better professors too, or also better students.
Yeah, maybe in 5 year times I will have a robot coming instead of me into the classroom, pretty one, or avatar, you know, like a fairy, you know, going to students. That's just joking.
Okay, yes.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yes, but this is not the idea, I think. Okay, maybe yes, maybe.
Okay,
it's a pretty one.
Kathrin, what would you say?
It's really tricky because we are, and I'm just reminded also of, you know, that we carry a history, you know, what we have grown up with, and AI and technology in general is a very generational thing. So when I think about 5 to 10 years, I'm actually thinking about the children who are now starting school. What is their engagement, their interaction with AI? Ours is, you know, or I'm talking about myself, you know, I look at a romanticized kind of childhood, but also at children who are learning now, hopefully, and this is our responsibility to question, you know, the nature of how is data generated, how is information generated, how do I really work with the trustworthiness of information that is generated. These are the I think, big questions for us.
Definitely. For example, in 5 year time, should the study program and curricula look like as it look today? Will be sufficient for the children that are coming into the schools and universities? Do they need these courses anymore? Or maybe the study program, the studies will not last 3, 4, 5 years. They will maybe be longer or shorter. They will go like to the virtual shopping mall and choose what they want to learn, you know. So there are many opportunities. Maybe Vin, to conclude with you.
Okay.
Because you're optimistic, you know, so
Well,
to be sure that we come to some good conclusion.
Okay. I feel the burden on my shoulders. But I think that it was interesting that when you asked your question, you were talking about teachers, students, and content. And not about technology. But okay, I think the technology will certainly be, helpful to imagine what will happen in 5 or 10 years from now. But my point would be more that when it comes to content creation, that I think that our role as teachers will change, and it is already changing. Nowadays. We are not just transferring our knowledge to the students. I think that's an old-fashioned image of what teachers are doing. But coming back to what I said earlier, I really believe in the potential of students. So students can be co-creators of that knowledge.
Yes.
And I think that we should do more to make that happen. If in 5 or 10 years we would be able to see a sort of ecosystem where teachers and students and maybe also technology co-create new knowledge for the future.
Yeah, I on purpose omitted technology because I don't think it's equally important as a teacher, student, and the content in education process. It's technology. It's a facilitator to achieving this. You know.
I fully agree with that, but sometimes we say that too easy. I think. And in our practice, we forget about that, and we put the technology too much up front. But if we want to do that, then do it in a smart way and use the technology as a co-creator in the whole process of knowledge creation.
Yeah. Thank you. I think we have come to the end, if you can switch to the next slide, to the end of this session. First of all, I wish to thank University of Graz for hosting us today, so please give a big thanks to them. I wish to thank all of you for participating, for bringing your expertise, knowledge, ideas, willingness to collaborate and to share, so that you don't think that you are over with it now and you can go home. We have the feedback, for participant feedback form, which you will need to fill out. Not today, don't worry, doesn't have to be at the same one. Sorry? Today is a good day, okay, so this is the message.
Yes, because the people is happy, optimistic. As a good
Yes, so I hope we provide you the positive environment, give you some ideas and food for thought, how to proceed, what to do. And I just wish you happy return to your homes. See you in October in Romania and next year in Bologna. And Maxim.
And we all wish to thank the fabulous chair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So now you are free to collaborate informally with the last cup of coffee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.